Welcome to Van Life with Gina, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, share the video out, and ring that bell so you'll get notifications when I drop a new video. Today we're going to talk about heating your van or your car or any vehicle. I'm going to give you different tips and ideas you can use to stay warm in your vehicle, and also depending on where you live, where you park, if it's a really cold winter or not a mild winter. But we're going to talk about all those things today, so let's go. As you can see, it's sunny here today, but it is still really cold. Well, not really cold. It's about 39 or 40 right now. Oregon has mild winters. I'm in southern Oregon. They have pretty mild winters. I mean, we had snow the other day, but it didn't stick. In this area where I park at, in the last 4 years, I've only seen it snow once on the valley floor here, and that it stuck. So we don't get a lot of snow. Okay, my van lifestyle is I don't travel much. I stay in one area. I have a parking spot that I rent, and I can stay in that area. The traveling I do is around here in southern Oregon. I mean, I would love to go south in the summer, but circumstances has it where I stay in this area. With that said, I'm in my van a lot. I am retired. I don't work. So I keep it warm in my van pretty much all the time. My main heat source right here is a diesel heater. I use the 5 kilowatt, I believe that's what it is, diesel heater. I have a house battery that I have a battery charger hooked up to. I'm plugged in where I'm at, but I connect my diesel heater to that battery, and I have the charge on it to keep it charged, and that is how I heat my van mainly. I also have pets, so I do keep it warm in here. It's a comfortable warm. I see no reason to be uncomfortable if I don't have to. So I keep my diesel heater on low most of the time. Out of a 24-hour day period, if it's very cold all the time during the day and night, I keep it on low, and it heats my van fine. I have a step van, if you haven't seen. And so the diesel heater warms it pretty good. Here's my diesel heater. It sits inside of my closet in my van, and it just has a hose coming out that blows the hot air, and the exhaust hose goes out the side of my van. Okay, on that last clip I had the heater on high because I had just turned it on higher than low. Now I have it on low, and you can barely hear it. You'll hear the click and the little bit of the air noise, but it does not bother me at night when I'm sleeping. It's kind of soothing hearing that click. It's just a constant click, and it's not that loud. Really, it's not. Right now filming this, my phone is pretty close to where the heater's at, so you definitely will hear it on the video. I fill up my tank once a day. I keep a big thing of diesel outside. I fill up a smaller container, and then I funnel into the container in here. It's a gas tank, and so I fill it once a day, sometimes maybe twice a day if I have to keep it on high at any amount of time. But in a 24-hour period, I use just under a gallon of diesel. So it is expensive. Diesel is very high right now. You guys, I talked about this in my last video. It's well worth it. It keeps my van comfortable. Diesel is a dry heat. I don't get moisture buildup in my van, but not everybody is comfortable using a diesel heater. Not everybody needs to heat their van that often. But there's all these van channels. They have, you can go check it out. They have, a lot of them use diesel heaters. A lot of them don't. There's expensive diesel heaters such as the Webasto, and the S-Bar, I believe, is another one. Mine is just a Chinese diesel heater. It was $149 on Amazon. So they run in about that price range. You can get them where they're not all in one, like mine, where you'll just mount everything separately. But it was easier for me to do the plug and play is what I call it. So that is what I went with. Hey, in conjunction with using a diesel heater, if it's really, really cold, like say below 25, which that don't happen much, but sometimes it does here, I put reflectors on all my windows. Right now I just have it on this one because it hasn't been that cold and it keeps privacy in, but I put reflectors on my windows. And in my step van up front is a lot of window area, as you can see. So I put a reflectors here on all the windows across there and over here, and that helps keep the heat in. All right, let's talk about heating with propane. There's 3 ways that I have that I can, or 2 ways now. I used to have a Wave 3, which is right here. And I used that for 2 years. It worked great. The Wave 3 is excellent. It just sips propane. But I should have got a Wave 6 because it wasn't big enough for my van. Now, if you have a smaller van, a Wave 3 would be perfect. But the number one thing to remember with all heating and stuff like that, cooking, ventilation and circulation. You must have that, especially with propane stuff. And so I used the Wave 3 for 2 years, but I was able to step up to a diesel heater, which it's a dry heat. Like I was saying, it's a dry heat. I like it much better, but I can't complain about the Wave 3. Also, I have a Mr. Buddy heater. That is my backup heat source. It runs on propane. You can use the little green canisters, or you can get a hose and use a bigger tank. It works great. I also with it use a wood stove fan that sits on a wood stove. I'll set it on top of my Mr. Buddy heater, and the heat makes the fan work, and it blows it around very well. But with a Mr. Buddy and a Wave 3, you got to have, I think it's 3 or 4 feet in front of it, nothing around it, nothing close to it like that. But it, you know, the Buddy heater and the Wave 3, all of that, that's more of a wet heat. It causes condensation. But you got to, don't forget this, it's a must. Ventilation and circulation is so important. When I'm running those, I always have all my windows cracked with a couple of fans circulating. Even with my diesel heater, I have my vent open above my bed with a fan going in the van. I always try to keep ventilation and circulation going. Also, I have a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector. So those are very important things when you're using propane, any kind of heat, really. Anything, you should have that in your van, and a fire extinguisher and all that. But I can't complain about the Wave 3 or the Mr. Buddy heater. They were perfect to have before I could get my diesel heater. Also, for a backup heat, I have this little, I call it a can heater. You set it on your stove, and it'll turn red, but if you need to heat your van fast, like if you're just getting back and your van's really cold, you want to heat it fast, it works great. But I have that as a backup heat. Let's talk about basics of staying warm in a vehicle. You know, if you don't have a heater, or, you know, an extra heater like a diesel heater or a propane heater, wool blankets are great to have, but have a blanket between you and the wool blanket because they can get itchy. If you guys go check out Lady BugOut, she has great ideas, alternative to having a heater. So go check out Lady BugOut. She just did a winter video about staying warm. A very good channel, so check her out. Also, PaperBagNomad has stuff. He has a weighted blanket that is very good. Now, he don't use a heater either, and he's in Nevada, I believe. But a weighted blanket, he speaks highly of a weighted blanket with a comforter over the top of it. So that's a good thing to have. Also, clothing. You'll see that on Lady BugOut's staying warm video. Layering clothing is good. You know, when you go to sleep at night, layer clothes and cover up with your sleeping bag or whatever you got. And when you get up in the morning, you can start your vehicle and warm up. Also, hot water bottles work great. There's all kinds of things you can use. And Reflectix is your best friend if you live in a vehicle. You can cover your windows for privacy with Reflectix. You can decorate them whatever you want. You can put material on them. So you can make them look like blackout, like, you know, put black material on them, put them out. It keeps the heat in, and it keeps privacy for you. Those are great to have. Yes, Reflectix is definitely a best friend of a vehicle dweller. All right, guys. That's all I got for you on this one. I hope I can help out a little bit with some tips and tricks. You guys take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace out.